This is the Sabbath School lesson for the fourth quarter, 2020.
Lesson 6 for October 31 to November 6, More Lessons from the Master Teacher. Read by Dr. Percy Harrold. Tuesday, November 3, Rabbi Jesus. Of all the character beginnings in the New Testament, none is more famous than this. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1. And John 1 soon takes you to the unforgettable verse, and the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. John 1 verse 14. Question. Read John chapter 1, verses 1 right through to 14. What are these texts sharing about who Jesus was and what he was doing here? What should this tell us about Jesus as the great example of a teacher? John 1, beginning at verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not comprehend it. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. This man came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which gives light to every man coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made through him, and the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own did not receive him. But as many as received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God, to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. The same God who spoke to Adam and Eve in the garden and to Jacob in the middle of nowhere now shows up as a person. God, says the New Testament, was personified in Jesus. Through Jesus, we can learn about God's will and God's way because Jesus was God. The character goes on to say how John the Baptist was so compelling a preacher that even religious leaders from Jerusalem suspected that he might be someone special. But he was preparing the way for someone greater than himself. Someone astonishingly special was about to appear, and he, John the Baptist, would be unworthy to untie the thong of his sandal in John 1:27. The next day he saw Jesus and declared that he was the Son of God. That day, and also the day later, he called Jesus the Lamb of God. Also, two of John the Baptist's followers decide to follow Jesus themselves. And when Jesus asked what they are looking for, they call him Rabbi, which translated means teacher, John 1:38. Jesus, then, is a rabbi, a teacher, but never has there been a human teacher like him, because, again, he is God. In other words, God came down to humanity in the form of a human being, and in that form he functioned as a rabbi, a teacher. No wonder Ellen White calls Jesus the greatest teacher the world has ever seen. Signs of the Times, June 10, 1886. After all, this teacher was God. So to finish the day, considering who Jesus was, why does it make sense to learn from him the best ways of teaching spiritual truth? What can we learn from Jesus about why not only what we say is important for teaching, but also what we do?
Hi there. Thanks for watching this video on the Advent-band Ministries YouTube channel. Please subscribe and click the bell icon to be alerted whenever we upload new videos. So, until we meet him in the clouds, may God continue to bless you.
This lesson was read by Dr. Percy Harrold for Christian Services for the Blind and Hearing Impaired, Christian Record Services for the Blind, the Sabbath School Department, and Hope Channel. You can also listen on the official Sabbath School 4 app and the Apple iTunes app Sabbath School with Percy Harrold. Remember, God is always faithful.